Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine throwing a temper tantrum, literally wishing you were dead just because a worm ate your favorite shade plant.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Right. But then imagine throwing that exact same tantrum because God decided not to destroy a city of, like, 120,000 people. You've handed us a fascinating stack of neuroscience research and theological commentaries today to help us unpack this bizarre intersection of ancient biblical narrative and modern brain science.
Yeah, we are looking closely at the book of Jonah, specifically how this ancient story of a prophet's epic emotional meltdown reveals the stark contrast between human selfishness and divine compassion.
Because pitying a plant more than a sprawling ancient city is just absurd. I mean, it's like being more devastated about dropping your ice cream cone than a whole city burning down.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though.
Well, yeah, to understand how a prophet's priorities get that warped, we really have to, look under the hood at what happens in the brain during extreme anger. What's fascinating here is what the psychiatric literature shows us.
Which is that anger isn't just like a random emotional outburst.
Right, exactly. Evolutionary biology has highly tuned it as a defensive response. When we perceive a threat like our will being ignored or feeling like we're being treated unfairly, a part of the brain called the amygdala just fires up.
So essentially hijacks the nervous system to protect your ego.
Pretty much, yeah.
Think of the amygdala as the brain's hyperactive fire alarm, and the prefrontal cortex as the seasoned fire chief who has to decide if it's an actual blaze or just burnt toast.
That is the exact mechanism. The prefrontal cortex is supposed to evaluate if the amygdala's alarm is appropriate and, regulate the impulse.
And when that fails?
When that evaluation fails, the raw feeling of perceived unfairness bypasses our logic entirely and turns into destructive aggression.
But wait, calling this a biological glitch feels like a cop-out to me. I mean, Jonah is a prophet. Isn't this just old-fashioned spiritual pride masquerading as a misfiring amygdala?
Oh, absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the theology sources make that exact distinction. The biological breakdown perfectly mirrors the text's spiritual argument about two very different types of anger.
The types.
Yeah, two types. So, selfish anger, which is Jonah's unchecked amygdala, happens when personal pride or physical comfort is threatened. But the alternative presented in the commentaries is holy anger.
Right, because the texts don't claim all anger is inherently evil.
No, not at all. Holy anger is defined as a constructive, regulated response. It is activated only by true injustice, sin, or when love for others is actively being trampled on.
And Jonah's internal wiring had it entirely backwards.
Completely. His fire alarm was screaming over a withered weed while he felt completely indifferent to the fate of 120,000 human beings.
So, what does this all mean? How did God handle Jonah's outburst? Because if someone threw that kind of tantrum in my face, I wouldn't be terribly sympathetic.
Well, the divine logic of the story is profound here. Instead of punishing Jonah for his insubordination, God is incredibly patient. He uses the plant, the worm, and a scorching east wind to physically demonstrate a lesson.
By asking him, do you do well to be angry?
Exactly. God is showing the exact same mercy to this stubborn, pouting prophet as he did to the enemies in Nineveh. He is actively trying to rewire Jonah's perspective.
He's bringing the focus back to compassion, which brings the mirror right back to you, the listener, navigating your own frustrations today.
Yeah, this raises an important question. Think about the last few times you got genuinely furious. Was it driven by an actual injustice in the world, or was it just your wounded pride? Are you prioritizing personal comfort over compassion for the people around you?
It is a really tough pill to swallow. If modern science says anger is a defense mechanism for what we feel is threatened, what do your daily frustrations reveal about what you truly worship, your own comfort or the well-being of others? The next time your internal fire alarm goes off, ask yourself, is there an actual fire destroying something that matters, or did you just get your pride stepped on?